Please welcome Abby Haglage.
Hi, makers. I'm so excited to welcome you to the final day of this conference and introduce our next speaker. But before I do, I wanted to expand a little bit on the organization that Lori mentioned yesterday in the internship with the Women's Prison Association. So the WPA is a New York-based nonprofit founded in 1845 to help women at all stages of criminal justice involvement, offering them safe housing, emergency assistance, education opportunities, and alternatives to incarceration. So my first introduction to WPA came in a training session that I attended a few weeks before Camila, who you're about to hear from, began. In it, the leader gave us each a name tag: felon, criminal, ex-con. She told us to imagine having to wear that name tag for the rest of our lives, knowing that every room we entered, people would be making a judgment about who we are before we even spoke. I've thought a lot about that day in the 6 months that Camila and I have worked together. Because if this 24-year-old powerhouse has taught me anything, it's that people are more than labels. Camila has many identities. We all do. One of hers, luckily for us, is a relentless reporter. I learned this just a few days into being her editor when she came to me with a story that she pitched about a 10-year-old black student in Michigan who was being charged with aggravated assault for a minor dodgeball injury sustained by his white classmate. The story had yet to make national news, but it was being shared widely among Camila's peers, and so obviously I gave her the green light to pursue it, thinking that, as a new reporter, this would take her a couple days. An hour later, she came to my desk, having tracked down the prosecutor who, unfathomably, defended charging this 10-year-old with assault. Camila's story and the interview, which we posted shortly after, instantly went viral, earning over 3 million views, national outrage, and coverage in almost every major media organization. 3 days later, the attorneys announced they were dropping the case. Yeah, thank you. That story, like so many others that Camila has written and Instagram series that she's pioneered, have taught me the power of inclusivity and showed me that diversity is not just about making sure everyone's voice is valued. It's about actually listening. Listening to Camila has opened my eyes to so many things, not just about the world we live in, but about Camila herself. I've learned that she's not only an incredible speaker and writer and activist, but she's also a very proud Bronx native, a fantastic mom, and a low-key pastry chef. Her cakes are amazing. Most of all, working with Camila has taught me that you can really be the hero of your own story. So this year, I hope that you'll go out after this conference and not only fight for the change that we're not done achieving, but actually listen, really, really listen to the people and the organizations that already are. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct honor to welcome Camila Newton.
You forget sometimes, you can always make it.
Okay, so I prepared a little something for you guys, and I'm gonna just start. When you receive a background check that has returned with less than favorable results, to which frame of consciousness does one consult? Do you imagine a little girl who accompanied her grandma to church every Sunday since she was 3 days old? Do you then think of a teen who tried to pray her depression away as she was told, until the weight finally made her fold? Do you think of a single mother and what she might do so that her kids can eat? Do you think about gentrification, how rent has been skyrocketing, or how hard it might be to get on your feet? Do you think about sexual abuse survivors and the scarcity of mental health resources? Do you ever imagine somebody with a 3.6 GPA enrolled in college courses? Does it cross your mind that a battered woman might have to take desperate measures? How conscious are you of the fact that most people are victims before they're ever offenders? When you think about how you've pulled yourselves up by the bootstraps, do you think about the grooming gap? Or how certain job requirements and attitudes make marginalized communities feel trapped? Like, to fit in, we'd have to offer our firstborn a kidney, maybe a layer of our skin. Otherwise, there'd be no space. Yet the list of job supplies mentions obtaining a bodysuit made of Teflon for the microaggressions you are sure to face. In this room, when we think of criminality, why is it that we don't picture people that look like ourselves? Especially considering that women are the fastest growing prison population filling up US cells. When you close your eyes and imagine a criminal, what do you see? When you deny someone an opportunity, and when you fail to empathize with a felon, do you see me? Today is a special day for me because this conference signifies a checkpoint in my life where I get to close a lot of painful chapters and where a lot of my hard work has come full circle. I'm here with my grandma in the audience. My mom is tuned into the live stream. Hi, Ma. And I'm pregnant with my first daughter. This is truly a shared triumph and testimony. It's an amazing opportunity to applaud how far we've come. But this is also the perfect time to remind you all that we are not done. When I found myself in front of a judge right before my 21st birthday, I just knew my life was over. I had a son to raise, nursing classes to finish, and a whole slew of responsibilities that I knew would be so much harder now that I had an F on my record. One of the most notable things I experienced was how differently people treated me based on which piece of paper they saw first, either my transcript or my background checked. But WPA saw me for me. They knew how much more impactful it would be to provide me resources to combat the results of adversity that were beyond my control, as opposed to doubling down on punishment that I'd already received. They provided advanced media training and helped connect me to people and opportunities that kickstarted my activism career. I started out with my first speech at City Hall, but now I'm a writer for Yahoo and a social media producer for Makers. In the short time that I've been there, I've written articles that have accumulated 11 million content views, one of the top stories on the site last year, and pioneered an Insta series. With this platform, I've been able to take my activism to new heights by bringing awareness to stories that might have gone untold. Although I've seized on opportunities in the corporate world, my success also highlights the need to reevaluate our rigid perspectives on respectability politics and how they fail to serve the community in a comprehensive way. Too often, the responsibility to create inclusive workspaces is shifted to the very people those workspaces are failing. But the onus should be on those in positions of power to foster dialogue and cultivate corporate environments that are justice and trauma-informed, poverty-sensitive, culturally competent, and parent-friendly. Once you're in cuffs, you're labeled by the crime you committed. But what people are missing is that these women are not that different from us. The highest risk factors linked to women's incarceration are pains that many of us share: abuse, depression, housing stability, parental stress. People have no control over their formative years. People don't choose their childhoods, and it's about time that we stop treating them like they do. So today, and every day from now on, I implore you all to challenge your preconceived notions of criminality, the struggles that connect us all, and how we each factor into deciding who is and isn't worthy of a second chance at life. Self-reflection is challenging, but growth is never ending, and it can start small. Everybody in here has a cell phone, right? Everybody take out the cell phones. I need you to go to your Instagram, and I need you to follow WPA at WPA_NYC. One more again, okay? WPA_NYC. I know that on the surface that seems useless, but even something this small can contribute to a concerted effort to expose yourselves to stories of women like myself that are often overlooked by mainstream media, and to initiate and engage in an important conversation about embodying the change that we should all hope to see. The late, great Althea Gibson once said, "I always wanted to be somebody. If I made it, it's half because I was game enough to take a lot of punishment along the way, and half because there were a lot of people who cared to help me." Thank you, guys.